Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek and bit of Star Trek news right now about Star Trek the animated series. It's celebrating its 50th anniversary with new shorts and comics. I think this is coming out of San Diego Comic Con, which is currently ongoing in San Diego. So let's have a look at this, shall we? Right, here we go. Star Trek the animated series is celebrating its 50th anniversary with new shorts and comics. As usual, multiple links for this in the description, and don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, it'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. I'm also on Rumble, Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts and Google Podcasts. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description for all that. So I'm reaching again, aren't I? Should have these at hand closer. But links are in the description, as are links to my two books, Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure, and Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats eating people. So I'm just moving the DVD for next week's Appointment with Fear. Do you want a clue? See if you saw it. See if you can pause it quick. And see what next week's film's going to be. Right, so on with this story. There's Spock doing some sort of mind meld into something. I've seen all the episodes, and it does that a lot. They reuse a lot of stuff, but it's still great. I also hear Uhura going a lot, but never mind. Right, Star Trek the animated series, originally just called Star Trek, debuted on September 8th, 1973. I was 6. It will soon be commemorating its 50th anniversary to celebrate, as announced at this year's San Diego Comic Con. Paramount will be newly animating several Star Trek characters and tapping extant Star Trek actors to produce several promotional bumpers in the old TAS animated series style. Jonathan Frakes will play Commander William Riker in one such bumper, Armin Shimmerman will return to play Quark in another, while Doug Jones will appear as Saru from Star Trek Discovery. See, they had to tell us that. They tell us, where William Riker or Quark's from. Because we all know, but they have to remind us where Saru's from. And to be honest, he's the best part of Star Trek Discovery, Saru. They underuse him. The announcement was given by Star Trek creative consultant Casper Kelly, who previously worked on Star Trek short treks. I wouldn't boast about that, mate, because they were shite. Star Trek the animated series famously reunited most of the original series cast. Walter Koenig does not appear, although he did write an episode, the Infinite Vulcan, I think. And merrily continued the 5-year mission of the USS Enterprise. James Doohan reprised his role as Scotty, but also took on a lot of the show's supporting characters. Yeah, you can tell. A limited voice set. You could tell that a lot of the characters were... a lot of the actors were doing... were on double duty and more. Anyway, listen to James Doohan's impression of Data in... the Star Trek Next Generation audio book. It might be Encounter at Farpoint, I can't remember. But it's probably on YouTube, but it's hilarious. Because obviously, when he recorded it, he'd never heard Data. He just knew Data were an android. So James Doohan doing Data going, "Hello, Captain, I am the android Data." And nobody told him. Anyway, including Mr. Alex, a 3-armed helm officer. Yes, he had another arm coming out of his chest. Lieutenant Alex, I think he was. Majel Barrett also played multiple new roles, including the feline communications officer, Lieutenant Maress. Yes, I say Maress, like I say Mabenga. The series lasted 22 episodes, and because of its medium, was more fully able to realise epic sci-fi stories. Aliens could be less human, live underwater, separate into multiple pieces, or even be 50 feet tall, like the Infinite Vulcan. Spacecraft could be more wildly designed. That's a funny word, isn't it? Wildly. And because the show was only 30 minutes per episode, well, 20 odd, got to account for commercials. A lot of the meat could be excised, leading to trimmer, more focused stories. In many ways, Star Trek the animated series was better than the show it was spun off from. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But it was still good, and it was fun, and it had a great theme. Reminiscent of the original series, but different as well. Anyway, the animation provided by Filmation was cheap and stiff most of the time, but fans of the show find the repetitive visuals to be a large part of its clunky charm. By the way, when we get to... I'll read this, and then... because I don't think the writers of this article, or maybe even the creators of current Star Trek, know that Next Generation and Voyager has already been done in the Filmation style, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. But we'll carry on with this article. There we go. Kelly also announced that he and IDW Comics are in collaboration on a new Star Trek comic book series that will be drawn and written in the style of the 1973 TV series. The comic will debut this September in digital form on the Star Trek website, and then will be available in print via the New York Comic Con, held the following October. The title of the comic will be the Shimer or Shima, don't know, Barrier. This is likely in reference to the late Lou, I think it's Shimer, isn't it? Sounds right, doesn't it? One of the three co-founders of Filmation. His first co-founder, Hal Sutherland, directed every episode of Star Trek the Animated Series, while Norm Prescott produced. I wonder if Admiral Prescott were named after Norm Prescott from the Pegasus. I think that was Admiral Prescott, wasn't it? I'm sure that was his name. And the Sutherland, we had the Starship Sutherland in... that was the starship, the Nebula class starship that Data took command of in that two-parter where the Duras sisters and the Romulans, wanting to take over and all that. That one. What are it called now? Attentive Gen Xers, like me, I'm an early Gen X. Was it Gen X is like 65 to 85, something like that, isn't it? Or 66 to 85, and I'm 67. Born, not 67 years old. Attentive Gen Xers likely know the names of Shimer, I don't know how to pronounce it, Sutherland and Prescott, as their credits appear on many notable animated shows of the 1970s and 1980s. Filmation worked on multiple superhero shows in their early days and had several successful animated Archie shows. Never heard of him. They were also the studio behind Fat Albert. Never heard of him. Must be an American thing. Following the success of Star Trek, Filmation branched off into other spin-offs like My Favourite Martians, as well as the new adventures of Gilligan and Gilligan's Planet. That's it, in the UK, Gilligan's Island. I don't know if it's ever been shown in the UK. We're obviously all aware of it because you Americans go on about it all the time and put it in there, your stories and stuff, and keep mentioning it. But I don't think it's ever been broadcast in the UK, ever. But I could be wrong. Probably am. They also produced the live-action sitcom The Ghostbusters with Larry Storch. In 1983, they cemented their reputation with the massively popular He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Their final series before shuttering altogether was Brave Star. Didn't they also do Jason of Star Command? Was that Filmation or was that somebody else? Anyway, the story of the Shima Barrier was not announced. Star Trek the Animated Series has been referenced many times on Star Trek Lower Decks. I hate that. And deep cut Trekkies tend to be very fond of the old show, its weirdness and its storytelling audacity. It even had like the devil in it as a good guy. It is currently available on multiple streaming services and was presented on Blu-ray as part of a 50th anniversary Star Trek box set 7 years ago. Right, so let's get on to this fan-made versions of Next Generation and Voyager, done in the Filmation style. So here we go. I'll put the links in the description, but we'll just have a look. I won't play them all because I'll probably get done. I think they just took basically the audio from a TNG episode and a Voyager episode and animated to it, but I'll show you it anyway. So here we go.
Direct hit, Deck 9.
Damage report.
Structural latching system integrity breached.
Prepare to take us out of here, number 1.
Fire up the engines, half impulse till we clear the nebula, then punch it up to warp 9.
Ready phasers, load forward torpedo bays. Engage.
Warp tractor beam is attempting to lock on.
Fire at will. Continue rotating shield frequency.
Shields failing. Tractor beam has locked on.
Anyway, that's a taste of the TNG one. That's obviously from Best of Both Worlds, isn't it? That they've taken the audio off, but changed the music, giving it the animated series music, which is cool. Great music for that series. And there's also a Voyager version. Here we go. Let's have a look and see what happens with this one. I'll just have to mute my microphone again in case there's an echo. So just
Janeway to bridge, report.
Paris broke out of confinement in engineering. He used a phaser on the port plasma conduit. We have power failures all over the ship.
Where is he now?
We're having trouble tracking him. We can't get power to the internal sensors. Tuvok has a security team searching deck by deck.
I'm on my way to the bridge.
Phaser discharge on deck 6. Localize it. I'm still having trouble with internal sensors. Came from somewhere between sections 21 and 27 Alpha.
Anyway, that's a taster of the Voyager done in the Filmation style. Obviously from the episode Threshold, which a lot of people, hate. It's one of the most despised episodes of Voyager, but I really like that episode. I'll die on that hill. I think it's good, even if it's bonkers. But it's great for the animated series because that's bonkers as well. So there you go. So obviously I'll put the links in the description for those two so you can watch them at your leisure. But as I said, I bet the producers of Current Trek don't even know they exist probably. Or maybe they've hired the people that did this to do their new ones, maybe. I don't know. But they deserve hiring because they've done a grand job. Right, we will leave it there. Just thought that was interesting. Thanks for watching, wherever you are. Live long and prosper. And until the next time, I'll see thee.